Hi guys, and welcome! I am Enigmus, and this is episode 10 of the Ultimate Feed the Beast Reloaded. We're in a pit, a very large, voluminous, rectangular pit. This is where our quarries were. And of course, as soon as I turn, the first time I turn, every time I turn, it has to stop and think about it. But we're good now. Two quarries, two full-size quarries. And this is going to be our test area for all kinds of wild and crazy experiments where we need space and a safe spot to destroy things. This is it. Except for over here, we don't want to be freeing the lava. Took quite a bit of work to free up the water that was keeping the lava at bay. You can see we've got a lot of obsidian down here. A gold chest full of obsidian, most of which came from this quarry that was right here, and you can see actually it's still there. I've yet to move it. I actually have to clear away a backlog of materials through my processing system, and then we'll carry on and things will be awesome. Very busy the last little while. Very, very busy. Gonna take a look at that now. And underground we are. Always underground. Whenever something important is going on, we're underground, it seems, which is fine. Today you can see we've added another industrial high-pressure steam boiler. The idea is I wanted to get some more industrial steam engines going. I don't have quite enough fuel cycling through the system right now to keep both boilers running at capacity, but I have enough going through to keep both boilers running fast enough to outstrip what I'm using. Now the thing is, I'm not running my quarry at capacity. I'm not running any of my machines, my pulverizers, my furnaces, none of that are running at capacity. So I've got the two steam boilers. I want to get as much Minecraft joules out of them as I can. I was thinking of just setting up more industrial steam engines similar to the ones that are already running there, but I decided the Zycraft tank is going to have to go in sooner or later to gather all of this steam that we're generating. So I might as well get started on that, get one in at least, and see how that does. And I think that's going to be the repeated theme throughout this entire system, is just Zycraft tanks holding all of this steam, feeding industrial steam engines that produce the Minecraft joules that are then sent via Energy Tesseract everywhere that we need Minecraft joules. Quarries, pumps for oil, whatever we need. And all of the fuel that we generate, whether it's biofuel or regular fuel like gasoline from oil, will be put into steam boilers, high-pressure steam boilers, so that everything is sort of streamlined. I don't really know the math, and I don't care to know the math on what would be more efficient, quote-unquote, running, for example, combustion engines into a redstone conduit or running the fuel into a liquid firebox and doing it that way, making the steam and then using the steam engine. But either way, I'm going to have so much energy by the time I'm done, by the time this whole plan has come to fruition. It's not even a thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the ultimate efficiency, and it's not going to be laborious either. Well, okay, the fuel part won't be laborious. You haven't seen the rest of the episode yet. The blue bits are valves. Now I'm using a lot in part because everything that I read when I looked into it suggested that the more liquiducts you can connect to send and receive steam for storage purposes, the better. And then if you're using it to send it to an engine, it's good to compress it or stuff. Things of that nature. But also, the reason why I'm using so many valves is because I forgot that the recipe makes 4 instead of 1. So I was just putting all kinds of materials into the crafting grid, and then I, shift-clicked and blam, 2 stacks of valves. So I figured I might as well get some use out of them. And also the liquid detectors are going to be seeing, this is probably the most important area where I'll be seeing use for this, is because the signal generated by those is going to be used to regulate what boilers are running and what fuel is being used. So that's kind of going to be the trick with the system and managing what I have access to the most. Oh, there go the chunks. It happens every once in a while. So now it's time to break everything down, get rid of the engines. I forgot when I did this. I didn't forget, but I didn't really care, to be honest. I was kind of, this has to be done, so I'm just going to do it and get it done, whatever. The processing system upstairs actually ran out of power, so I got a lot of dust processed, but the furnaces weren't running, so I've got a backlog of pulverized ores right now that I'm working through. But nevertheless, you can see the steam is flowing from the boilers into the giant tank with the giant sea of blue valves, and then it was time to get the engines back up and running. Not only the engines, but more engines, double. I had 5, moving up to 10 now, and this is where things kind of started to fall apart. This was the beginning of the end for me. You can see I got the engines in place, I've got the redstone energy conduit, I'm trying to get an energy tesseract, and then I realize I need to move the engines up a square so that the liquiducts connect properly, which is no big deal. It's not time consuming, or, you know, I'm not wasting tool durability to make it happen. So we throw in the extra bits, get everything together, everything lined up, everything pointed the right direction, get the redstone signal lined up for the engines. Where's the steam? Do you know where the steam is? Who got the steam? What? Is there a wiki for this crap? I did eventually get it going. The liquiducts need their own redstone signal, which they got. The processing system fired up faster than it ever ran before. You can see it's just hauling ass. Still a lot of blocks cycling through. I can tell you right now, except for the pulverized dusts that I still have to put through the furnace, it's basically caught up with the ores. There's no more to pulverize except for what's coming in from the quarry, which the quarry is offline. So getting everything caught up, it's very, very nice. I have chests full of ingots. And then this is one of my favorite parts, when the quarry gets up to full speed and you can just watch it and it hauls ass. All kinds of blocks flying up and into the filters and into the void pipe. But it's good stuff. It's fun. So here we are outside. Once again, all of this stuff. All I want to do is make biofuel. Why do I want to make biofuel? Because I haven't done it before. And I think it would be fun to have biofuel and fuel and lava and logs and charcoal and all these other things producing energy for us. Because we haven't done it before, I'm not concerned about efficient. I'm just fun, messing around, things of that nature. But boy, did I ever step in it this time. You know this place, this is my Steve's Cart's tree farm. You can actually see the cart off in the distance there. He's working away, as always, getting saplings and logs for me. My cows, my sheep. Somehow the cows keep escaping, and I find it hilarious because you look at the little gap between the fence and I can imagine a bunch of cows just as a prank, all ganging up and pushing one guy through the gap just to make him squeal. But that's neither here nor there. We're looking at machines and stuff. And I really concentrating on not turning this into a rant, but bloody hell, this is a disaster. This is a Forestry Peat Bog, and this is a Forestry Arboretum. Attached to each of these is the requisite gathering block, which basically allows for automated gathering of the end result. Over here we have a turbary, and over here we have a logger, which was bloody expensive, 5 diamonds to make that bad boy. And basically all it does is this one grows trees, very similar to that one over there. Uses Minecraft jewels to power both machines. It grows the trees. When the trees grow, the logger cuts them down. The arboretum gathers the sand. See, you can see that one just grew and the block underneath turned to sand. It gathers the sand, and then we set up, because red power is what we do, our red power system of taking all those bits and sending them somewhere else. Now, red power sometimes in situations like this is a little bit difficult to use, because you're trying to manage the behavior of the red power blocks and compare them to what you think will be the behavior of these blocks, until you find out that they're very different, and then you're wondering, is it the way I set up the red power blocks, or is it these blocks? And then you realize it's these blocks. and the red power blocks are just fine. And you can see now it's working, it's doing its thing, trees are growing, everyone's happy. And you move over here, this was actually made in support of this, of all things. This is the peat bog. Now, why am I worried about peat? Well, if I take peat and I burn it in a peat-fired engine, I will get ash, which I can then combine with apatite to make fertilizer, which is a catalyst in the process of making biomass, which we need in order to make biofuel. Did I lose you? Because I lost me there. I've gone through this in my head so many times, and I still have to, I practically have to write it down. It's this thing, it's this multi-stage process, and all I want is little bricks of peat to burn to collect the ash. So this whole system is for that purpose, making peat and the ash, and all this over here, the saplings, the logs, don't care. We're going to turn the saplings into biomass just like we do with those ones. We're going to turn the logs into planks just like we do with those ones. Going to burn them in our boilers. And then the sand that we collect from here is going to be turned into this bog earth so that we can continue to make peat. That's all. This is just making sand for us. That's all I wanted it for, was the sand. And it's creating 1 block of sand per tree. There's a better way. But, you know, trying different things is the name of the game. I just didn't realize when I started it that it was going to be such an involved and convoluted process. And also reading a wiki where people are like, oh yeah, I make an arboretum, and it provides all the sand that my peat bog needs to work. And it's so exciting, I'm so happy with it. It's shit. It is absolute shit, but now we know. And this mess under here is the guts of it all. And you can see, actually, with probably the hint here being the basalt jacketed red alloy wire is kind of sticking out in the middle of nowhere. This is in the middle of a rework. I'm just, aside from the fact that it looks like ass, I'm just not happy with the way it's working. I want to get some managers down here. I'm going to excavate a little bit more over here. We're going to get in our blue electric thing with the ender chest and the stuff so that we can get blue electricity down here. We're going to use managers to manage everything, and all in the name of ash. How the hell did I get peat in the ash slot? This is managers, right? This is why we need the managers. We need a better way to do it, and I'm working on it, but I've just been trying to get everything in place and more or less working, and now we're just starting the fine-tuning stages where I get to go over everything and maybe make it look a little bit better, make it work a little bit better, increase the amount of control that we have over inventories. All for this guy, all for the ash. So I've got 10 engines running. I don't think I'm quite generating. See, this, you know what I think it is because, yeah, is because it's at the side. It's going in the side, and it doesn't like that. So see, we're going to do that right now. We're going to fix it. The reason why the peat was in the ash inventory was because we've got this tube here going in the side of the engine. So we block it off with a cover. Problem solved. As I was saying, I don't think I'm generating quite enough peat for the number of engines that I'm running. Realistically speaking, I'd rather run too many engines and have them idle some of the time than not have enough engines and have this massive backlog of crap that I have to deal with later. These aren't running for the sake of producing energy, even though I am channeling their energy into a redstone conduit, into that redstone energy cell that you can barely see in the back there. Right in the back. Which is powering this entire operation. So in that regard, I guess it's self-sufficient. We're going to be using apples soon. I have to redo the way that those things are going because, as you can see, they're going the wrong way. This sand is actually going all the way down through that tube. Down around here, you can see it. It's going this way, which means it's going all the way upstairs to my sorting network. It's going to go down, and then it's going to go across, and then it's going to go way the hell upstairs. Going to find its way into a chest. So you can see we've been busy, and the whole idea here is trying so hard to get the infrastructure in place so that we can start getting a little bit more into the technical side of things. And in the process of trying to get into the technical side of things, we found ourselves in the technical side of things. So I hope that confused the hell out of you. And we're going to do it again in the next episode. If you like what you see and you want to see more, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.